Hey everybody, welcome back to Tyranny. We just met with Graven Ash and the voices of Narat, the two leaders of the Scarlet Chorus and the Disfavored, not in that order though. And now we need to go and speak with, I believe, what is his name? Iron Marshal, so that we can help out the Disfavored. And then we'll also have to go and try to help the Scarlet Chorus. So we need to go and meet the Fifth Eye and take the Outer Valley. So before we do that, I just want to talk to a couple people up here that are still in this area, and then we will head out. We've got a hidden item here. What is this? An iron guitar. Looks like a dagger, like a one-handed dagger of some kind. And then a couple of garnets. We'll take that.
Yes.
Can always use mead. Use some of that extra might. I really want to start using this stuff as we approach a fight to see if, you know, what the benefits are like. Like if we get extra might, why not do it? You know what I mean? We should make sure that we use that stuff. I am Lucia, this is Marcus. The disfavored soldier points to the armored man next to her. And you must be the Fatebinder. From under her helmet you hear an audible scoff. We've been assigned to assigned to your hospitality, Marcus quickly interjects, while you remain on disfavored ground. If you should need a place to rest, we can make the necessary preparations. So she doesn't seem too happy about this. What can we do for you? Well, tell me about yourself, Marcus. Not sure there's much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign, and I'm proud to be with the Legion. I was wounded at the Gates of Judgment, but Graven Ash's protection mended me good. I owe my life to him. Are you bragging that you let your guard down and took a spear to the gut? You really shouldn't boast about a filthy tearsman besting you in battle, Lucia rolls her eyes. You're just bitter that Lord Ash never seems to notice you. In all seriousness, I would take that spear again if it brought honor to the disfavored. Kairos knows we could use it. We are the elite fighters in the Northern Army, but somehow we still lack the Overlord's confidence. What about you, Lucia? You seem happy. I do this. She enthusiastically lifts up her heavy shield. And I do this. She mockingly stabs at the air with her spear. She shrugs. Playing host is not my strong suit. I have noticed. Ignore my sarcasm. I've seen the Legion through my share of the campaign. After so much bloodshed, our pretenses of honor can wear me down. She turns a cautious eye your way. The North is my home, and I consider each and every one of the ironclad bastards in this camp to be family. You won't find another army where each member of the phalanx is as beloved and cherished as the next. Okay. How have you guys done against the Oathbreakers? Every battle is a reminder that the Legion's superiority. The Oathbreakers have plenty of heart, but nothing to beat our northern values and Graven Ash's love. If you ever want to enjoy that feeling, I can spare you the time of day to cross iron. Okay, so it looks like they offer us some training. Of course, Fatebinder. So he can train us for a cost. Looks like for parrying or one-handed weapons. Guess that's not a bad idea. The cost does increase as we go, but why not? We're not spending our money on anything else. This character has already trained the maximum number of times this level. So at each level, you can train a certain number of times. That's cool. Her parry is already decent. Does she train in something else? Lucia could use some training. So she trains in, throwing weapons, dodge, and athletics. But we've already maxed out. Okay. What kind of weaponry does she really use? Like, what's her deal? Dual wielding, bows. Okay. Did we see dual wielding with him? No, just two-handed weapons. Okay, so she's not gonna get a huge benefit out of this, but we could go into parrying, I suppose. Or if we train with Lucia, we could improve our already pretty strong dodge. Oh, actually, dodge is pretty low. I guess this is just close to like hitting the next rank, right? Maybe let's do that. Oh, now that changed pretty significantly. Okay, so maybe that was just a visual thing. Well, we're committed. Let's up the dodge anyway. It's not such a bad thing. Okay. Let's talk to Iron Marshal. Don't just coddle the impact. Push back with your shield. Take the momentum. Iron Marshal Arrhenius, field commander of the disfavored, pounds her fist in the air as she calls out to the warriors on the training field. I keep using these like really gruff male voices for the females. I said eyes on your opponent's waistline. If you spend more time than a glance checking his footwork, you've lost. The disfavored officer turns to you, adjusting her pale golden surcoat as she clears her throat. You need to stay on top of the troops or their skills will rust. It's for their own good, even if they don't believe it. So, it was mentioned that you're short on warriors and need some help. What's the situation? I have brigades amassing along Placid, Echo Call, and Little Tooth crossings. The Vendrian Guard may be able to hold one bridge, but they cannot hold against a concerted three-prong attack. I have no right to give orders to you, but... Her words falter, a short cough breaking her flow. But we all died at Kairos' edict should we fail, so I'm not about to let my pride blind me to the value of good help. I am here to assist, but as I understand, this is the second major attack. So what happened the last time? Defeat in detail. We carved a bloody path up to the river, but at that point, everyone who charged ahead was lost. We had no course backup, it was just a few disfavored squads. I can't tell you exactly how they were defeated, but we lost the whole assault team. Shakes her head, letting out a long, pained sigh. We found bodies washing up the river for days. It's not often the Tearsmen put up such a good fight. Certainly made us reevaluate the numbers we'll need to take this valley. Really? Are you so sure our scouts didn't give you all sorts of details about the enemy and you just choose to disregard our warnings? Seems like a good way to diffuse the situation. We can pass out blame after the war. Only the Oathbreakers matter now. Quite right. Getting our emotions into the mix won't hasten this campaign. So, we already know the value of the crossing. Let's just, yeah, we're in. And our plan just might work. We are loath to work with those who do not share our training and our values, but we know that Tunon the Adjudicator selects only the most capable minds for his court, and I trust you will honor us all in the battlefield. Antio will be leading the charge at Echo Call Crossing. Assisting you will be Barrack of the Stone Shields. She points to a heavily armored soldier standing sentry at the edge of the training field. Before you ask, no, the Forge Bounds weren't sloshed on Dappleseed when they fitted his armor. He survived the full force of the Edict of Storms, and this armor doesn't exactly come off. Tactically, it's quite brilliant, but otherwise, it's something of a curse. Tapping her helmet twice, Aurelio signals to the hulking presence, Barrack, come meet the Fatebinder. The soldier that steps up to you better resembles an amalgamation of rusted blades and mismatched pieces of armor fused into a vaguely human shape. He reeks of sweat, feces, and whatever oil treatment keeps him flexible.
Fatebinder, the Iron Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of disappointing her. That should be enough assurance for anyone.
Just nod silently. Barrack returns your nod, silent save for the creaking articulations in his alloyed carapace.
Barrack, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor?
Wait, how do you two know each other?
No. Oh, that is to say, yes. I'm already as familiar with this ironclad halfwit as I care to be.
Oh, great. Now we're gonna have one from each side.
We don't have time to trade jabs today, Verse. After the siege, you can throw as many tantrums as you please. I suggest that we remain focused on the mission.
No offense to the mission, but seeing you looking like a garbage heap and reeking of a mass grave is more amusing by far. Did you forget how to don your armor, or did Graven Ash leave you out in the rain?
Barrack sighs, a frustrated growl, shaking his iron enclosure of a suit. I don't believe we've been acquainted.
It's challenging enough to experience battle from a courtroom, much less remember the faces of your cohorts. I wouldn't expect you to know me under these accursed blades of rust.
The Fatebinder will be joining us from the push across the river. I figured an extra hand might help, and more importantly, if my worries come true and the chorus tries to impede the mission, we will have an observer from the court on our side.
Better to work with the Honorable Binder than some chorus children.
I asked the Barrack accompany you there to arbitrate your cooperation between his company and the Scarlet Chorus. Echo Call Crossing is now unlocked on the map. Barrack, you've been without a cohort since the last Battle of Stalwart. It's time we gave you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and leading training drills. Ash has assigned you to the Fatebinder's service. You're to assume this task is ongoing until we find a more permanent spot for you, which could very well mean the swiftly approaching end of this war, or when the Fatebinder dismisses you. Is that understood? Regards the Iron Marshal in oppressive silence. That's an order, Barrack. He can be as stubborn as pulling a spire out of the earth, but he's a good soldier. Hope you don't mind the company. I actually, yeah, I do mind that you're forcing him into my party, but I would take him anyways, to be fair. But he is going to be a nice large object between myself and the enemy. Barrack is indeed here for your protection. If you don't find him suitable for duty, you're free to discharge him from service. Okay, there we go. Barrack is now with us. So, Barrack, what is your deal? You're one-handed. You've got the sword. If we wanted to improve your weaponry, we can go into accuracy maybe, or just might. Let's go into accuracy for you. And then you've got some talent. So striking iron, which looks like you already have. Strike a single enemy, dealing significantly increased damage if the target is engaging Barrack. Okay. And then potential options. We've got over on the Sentinel side, Clash of Iron. Issue a mocking invitation, challenging enemies to attack him. Okay, so that's how that combos together. We taunt, I guess. And then we use the follow-up of Striking Iron. What else is there? Art of the Blade increases one-handed and two-handed weapon damage by 10%. Engagement attack, 30% chance to attack foes when engaged. There's a nice combo as well. And then Fierce Demeanor. Barrack becomes an intimidating force in the battlefield, reducing, or enemies nearby Barrack have their resolve reduced. Resolve determines the character's ability to endure physical and mental challenges. It's the primary attribute used to derive the endurance, will, and magic defenses. It also increases the durations of afflictions. Okay, so I think we will go ahead and grab this Clash of Iron or Taunt. That way we can taunt and then follow up with Striking Iron so he does more damage to the targets. We could always just use it on the target that he currently has, but I think we will build him out to be like a tank of sorts. Now, the other thing is, let's talk about spell creation really quick. So, in each of these scrolls, there's the Learn button at the bottom, which I didn't notice at first, but a lot of people pointed out that we can learn these things. So, basically, once we do this, we'll be able to craft different spells based on which scrolls we've learned. So this is Lesser Sigil of Reaching Grasp. So it contains a magical accent which slightly increases the range of a spell. So we've got a new sigil. This scroll contains a magical accent which slightly increases the strength of a spell. So we've got range, now we have strength. Then we've got this one. This scroll contains a magical expression which is used in spells that affect targets at a distance. Not sure what this one does, but maybe this improves range strength or something. Anyways, if we go into the spell section, you can see the highlights of the different things that we have. So this is the Sigil of Focused Intent. This is the Distant Impact. And then we've got some down here as well. Reaching Grasp and Sigil of Strength. So, I believe the one that we picked up, or the last one that we just read, is this one, the Distant Impact. Expression used to create spells that affect distant targets. So probably, like, if we go with our core spell of Sigil of Atrophy, this is a ranged spell already. So I don't think we can use the other one on it, because I think that's going to make it ranged. However, this is used to create spells that affect single targets near the caster. Okay. Then we can accent it with these things. So Sigil of Strength, we can make it stronger. And you'll see each time we do this, the lore required to use the spell increases. So now we can also accent an accent that increases the range of the spells. So we'll have a more effective spell, which is increasing it here. And then we have more range, which is increasing here. Let's see if it just highlights. Yeah. See, it's going from -3 to -3.5. And then here, if we turn that off, it's going from 2 meters to 4 meters. So that's cool. I like that. So if we assign this, I think we should just replace it, right? Maybe not. Hold on. I would guess we should just replace it. Cooldown's the same. It's more effective. But it doesn't need to stop there, because what we can do is we can drop off some of these things. Like we can drop this and just create a basic Touch of Atrophy spell. And since it's a lower lore, we could give it to these guys as well, just for options, I guess, right? So we can increase the range and assign this here and assign it here, I guess. I don't see why not. We might as well. So anyways, our guys are now set up half decently, I would say. What do we have here? Imbued Rod of Strength. It's two-handed. Let's just look at his skills overall. So he's one-handed, but he's actually better with two-handed. So, that being said, why don't I maybe swap this in here? Let's get rid of this. Can we swap these? You must unequip the shield before removing the... Oh, okay. Right, because that's going to be... but if he's going to be the tank, maybe the shield is the best thing to have. Yeah, maybe that's better for now. Keep the shield on. I mean, we could just throw it into the weapon sets. I'm not sure how to switch between them yet, but we can figure that out. Okay, let's leave this town, and let's go see if we can't secure this crossing. Do we have party... Oh, yeah, we do. And exactly where I thought it was. That's cool. Let's back out for a second. I want to set this up. Block formation. I want to put him... Can we unlock this? Ah, here, custom formations. Okay, this is what I want. So I want to put him in the front, and these two guys a little bit further back, wherever we're going. Cool. So I guess the option is, do we want to go to the Scarlet Chorus camp and talk to the Voices of Nerat to set up that situation? Or do we want to go straight to Echo Call? I think let's go straight to Echo Call. Whoa, your path is blocked by a small group of Vendrian Guard. You can go no further until you deal with them. Nice, this will be a good warm-up. Hello there.
That's far enough, Fatebinder.
Ebb. A woman's voice booms from atop a nearby outcropping, flashes an aquamarine body paint. The blue body pigment, bladed staff, and complex braided attire are the traditional trappings of the School of Tides. According to Fatebinder Rogalis, the majority of the school fled before the coming of Kairos. The remainder were last seen during the first campaign in Vendrian's Well. The School of Tides traditionally studies the magic of water and grave light, the art of directing the moon's arcane light into a baleful, searing energy. Flanked on either side by warriors dressed in Vendrian Guard regalia, the woman leans on an elaborate bladed staff pulsing with arcane energy. A swath of blue fabric rests draped over her arm.
In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal.
The woman bows deeply, lowering her head in a practiced display of etiquette. The warriors by her remain in a ready stance, their nerves are clearly on edge. Are you saying that you would detain a Fatebinder of the Archon of Justice? That's unwise.
As unwise as setting foot on our lands with dreams of conquest.
Oh, she doesn't give two shits.
If you're afraid of a few words, go ahead and run. Idiots and very young children are often afraid of me, so I understand if you need to retreat and soil yourself in private.
Well, you have me at a disadvantage.
I am Ebb of the School of Tides, and today I speak on behalf of the Vendrian Guard.
Go on.
I advise caution, Fatebinder. Only thing more dangerous than a tearsman is an educated one.
Well, then, don't anger her.
As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos' way, but we must have hope. A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
Tarkus, okay. You ordered Demos conscripted into the chorus. Let's assume he is our prisoner. What would you offer in exchange?
We would offer you 5 choirmen that got lost on patrol. They're healthy. Got other limbs, too.
I would not have us barter with oathbreakers. Certainly not for anything less than disfavored lives.
Of course, you'll say that. Verse will probably pipe up.
You say there's something worth less than a disfavored life. Call me intrigued.
Tarkus is with the chorus now.
Then if we see him again, it will have to be as enemies.
Well, sorry.
If I may make one more inquiry. What of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Pelox did not do well, unfortunately. She nods slowly, saying nothing for a long moment.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough.
I have some questions for you while you're here.
We shouldn't be socializing with oathbreakers.
Barrick, watch your mouth.
I will entertain them as best I can. After all, understanding is the only hope we have. What is it you wish to know?
Have you done these prisoner swaps in the past?
That is our way, Binder. Here in the South, only thugs and bandits kill prisoners. The younger realms may be guilty of constant fighting, but we never slay each other when the battle's long over. We're not about to change that now. As a rule, Kairos' forces haven't been keen on swapping prisoners. But I know our disfavored prisoners aren't prisoners anymore. I just assumed they were swapped for some of our own.
Why do you resist Kairos?
I grew up without my knee bent to Kairos, and if I'm going to bow to someone, let it be another Tearsman. We've ruled ourselves just fine for centuries, so we'll give our lives so that our sons and daughters might rule themselves.
Yeah, but... I mean, only your daughters are really free in the Tears. Why fight against Kairos' equality?
There's freedom, then there's trusting idiots with power. Give a man 1,000,000 marauders, he'll lose sleep worrying over his neighbor's 1,000. I prefer my realms ruled by the braver sex. For centuries we've left the lands to the women and the seas to the men. And we did plenty fine until Kairos came around.
So you're a mage. But a mage like you would not be the subject of such superstition and fear under Kairos'
I
reign.
doubt life is any better sworn to some mad Archon. I'd rather stand with my fellow Tearsmen. Or, I suppose, stand immediately behind them in the event of an attack.
At that remark, the soldiers flanking her exchange shocked looks. Ebb turns her focus to her compatriots.
Yeah, you heard me. Way things were years back, you'd all be calling me a water witch and conspiring to sell me out to the nearest sage. Just because I'm helping you stop Kairos doesn't mean I've forgotten the hospitality of ages past.
Interesting, Ebb.
And people wonder why the Tearsmen could never unite in time to fight back. It's refreshing to see that some things never change.
The younger realms, though, were beset with constant battle. You'd prefer that to Kairos' order?
You make conflict sound like a bad thing. Yes, the younger realms saw frequent battles, but it was never this wholesale slaughter like we've seen of late. No tearsman ever cast an edict on the soil, or forced prisoners to kill each other, or butchered beastmen tribes.
What makes you think you even have a
No,
chance?
we don't.
Okay.
Those who believed Kairos could be stopped all died years ago, in the first wave of fighting. It's not about the hope of victory. It's about the hope of inspiring others. It is very likely we will fall here in Vendrian's Well. But perhaps others will arise elsewhere.
More about the message than the outcome. Did you ever kill any of the disfavored prisoners with magic?
That's some sort of trick question? No, we don't kill prisoners.
Okay,
Magic
just
or otherwise.
testing the waters. How did you and your friends overthrow the garrison?
I would joke that the voices of Narat left the gate unlatched, but dozens of warriors lost their lives taking the citadel. There was no secret to it. We simply attacked with speed and certainty at a time when the Archons were elsewhere in the tiers. The Scarlet Chorus had a rout, and what few disfavored soldiers were present made an impressive showing. But they were surrounded and overwhelmed once the chorus fled.
And who's in charge of this insurrection?
Listen to you, thinking just like the Overlord wants you to think. There always has to be a person in charge, or things don't make sense. Well, we don't answer to anyone. We are each of us sons and daughters of the Tiers, and take this task upon ourselves freely. But Captain Tarkus Ari, former Falksman of Queen Vendrian Alanta, is the voice we trust when we seek unanimity.
That's another Tarkus. I assume Tarkus Ari and Tarkus Demos are relations.
Yes. Deimos was Ari's brother. We were certain he was dead, but the captain takes family seriously. So I volunteered to find some answers. And now here we are.
Maybe you'll find him.
Fair enough. But now a question for you. The edict. I can feel its magic coursing through the air. Everyone can. But those of us enlightened to the currents of magic feel it most. The wording of the edict. What was it?
I'm gonna tell her. Maybe, for the time being, we can sway her. Kairos' forces must take Ascension Hall by the Day of Swords, or all in the valley will perish.
In the name of the vaunted North, the will of Kairos should be delivered with blade and hammer, not to the ears of oathbreakers and compromisers.
Barrick, I'm telling you.
Curious. You did say all in the valley. So the edict will affect Kairos' forces? This is most unexpected. So if the armies don't get us, the edict will.
Correct.
Well, thank you. I suppose it's good to know our days of anticipation will soon be over one way or another.
It's one way of looking at it, Eb.
I've another question for you.
Jesus.
If you will entertain it.
Are we really standing here and chatting with oathbreakers? It's hard to watch.
Yeah,
like
we are kind of
cuddling
doing
a
that.
goat you're going to kill for dinner.
Just ask the question.
When I was young, my parents told me the Tiers were special, and the Overlord's edicts and armies could never touch us. Seems I've been told a hefty sum of lies. So answer this honestly for me, please. Is it true that Tunon's Fatebinders can smell truth from falsehood?
Is it true that Tunon's Fatebinders can smell truth from falsehood? We can't. I'm gonna lie and say that it's true, but falsehood, I'm just gonna say yes.
And Kairos' edicts. I have heard the sages speak at length that some of the edicts elsewhere in the world have been broken. How is this?
Well, it varies based on the wording of the proclamation. If Kairos provides a clause allowing the edict to end, that clause can be satisfied.
Ah, so some edicts are forever. The rest are, as long as Kairos has in mind? Needless to say, Kairos' magic is unlike anything we've seen in any Archon.
Yeah, understandable.
You'll forgive, I hope, the questions. The Overlord and his Archons used to be things of legend. Now they're everyday maladies, and I'm eager to separate the truth from the lies I've been told by house and guild. In accordance to our most ancient customs, let us depart in honorable
Okay, I
accord.
thought we might be throwing down
May
here.
peace find you, Fatebinder.
She bows deeply, pounding her staff on the ground twice before turning to leave. I have a feeling that this isn't the last we'll see of Ebb. Yeah, pretty sure. Oh, what do we have here? Hello. Some blood moss, defense against bleeding, and a vagrant's chaw. Plus 20 athletics, plus 50% healing, vitality.
I'll stay downwind of our enemies.
Grasslands of the Tears stretch far throughout the land. Much of it remains uninhabited and unclaimed by any faction. Seeing if there's anything in the area we can look for.
Quiet down.
Looks clear. There's a weapon on the ground, but I don't think we can grab it. Okay, so let's march forward to Echo Call Crossing then.
Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world. And 2 of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of